At the Nebraska Ethanol Board, we get all kinds of questions. And one of the leading questions is, well, ethanol gives me lower mileage. Is it still economical for me to buy it at the pump? Well, I'm here to say, of course it is, and we're here to bust that myth that it's not. In the myth busting, the first thing we need to talk about is what's happening within your engine, specifically the combustion reaction. Let's start with the pure gasoline molecule. You'll notice that there are a lot of carbons linked together and a lot of hydrogens tacking onto them too. So in the combustion reaction, you get a lot of energy from breaking these bonds. When you start to break the bonds between carbons and carbons, that is where you get your stored energy transferred to your engine. And of course you reform new products such as all this CO2, H2O, and sometimes carbon monoxide. So moving on to the ethanol molecule, you'll see that we have less bonds to break. So we have just a couple carbons linked together, a carbon and an oxygen linked together, and fewer hydrogens in the mix too. So what this means is, of course, fewer products like CO2 and H2O, but what this also means is a lower energy content delivered to the engine. With less energy delivered to your engine, that unfortunately means that you have less mileage. You need more ethanol to make up for the energy loss compared to gasoline. But let me tell you something. Ethanol has a really nice advantage and difference with having an oxygen atom right there. See, what it does is it helps the air fully burn the fuel. With ethanol having a structure with an oxygen in it, it can actually run at a higher octane. And what this means is that your engine will run smoother with reduced knocking. Due to the lower heating value of ethanol, your engine can actually run cooler. And you get a higher compression ratio, which means you get more power out of the engine. So what all this means is your engine is now running much more efficient with ethanol in the fuel. Let's just think of what the Department of Energy says about the mileage actually lost with ethanol. So let's add 10% ethanol. Let's go from an E0 blend to an E10 blend. You'll notice that you don't lose 10% of the mileage, you actually only lose about 3 to 4% because of all the really great things that oxygen can do in ethanol. Now, let's take a look at the price because the money is the thing that really talks in this equation. So when we look at pricing, this is average retailer pricing across the state of Nebraska in January of this year. E0 was priced right around $3.35, and E10 was priced on average around $2.99. This represents a 36-cent savings, which is almost 11% of the original price. You make back the mileage you lost double. All right, so let's take it up a notch from E10 now to E15. So again, of course, with a little more ethanol, that means that you do drop in mileage by about 1.7%, but on average, the retail price of E10 across the state of Nebraska, again, was $2.99. And E15 was $2.94. This represents a 2% savings. So while it's a little closer, you're actually still making money using E15, and your engine gets all of the benefits from using that ethanol. So what all of this culminates to is one goal. So we need to be able to save about 3 to 6% on cost to make up for the mileage that we lost with ethanol being within the fuel. And I'll tell you from these numbers that we saw in January, we're actually achieving between 11 and 13% savings, nearly 3 times what we need. So go ahead and consider this myth busted because ethanol is economical.